Here, you can very easily download this data, everyone. Just simply click on download here. If you check, you'll see there are a total of 205 countries in all. Import Vietnamese fruits, and among them, the top 5 companies already account for 83.5%. For all of you, there is an extremely important step that every successful export business must take before selling or delivering goods. What is that step? Yes, that step is market research, also known as market survey. This market survey or research step is just like having a map when you go into battle. Imagine it like this. Export sales are like going into a battle. If you don't have a map in hand, you'll lose your sense of direction. You end up fighting all over the place, but you don't actually hit anyone. On the other hand, if you have a map in hand, you'll know exactly where your opponent or enemy is positioned, in which direction, and you'll be more proactive in focusing your efforts to hit the right target. So, market analysis or market research will help you identify which countries are importing your products the most, how much product is currently being exported, and what exactly the taxes are like. Alright, so today I'm going to share a tool with you that is extremely useful and also completely free. In fact, Vi has mentioned it in previous videos as well. But today, we'll go into more detail about market research using this tool. Let's get started with today's session together. Alright, please open your web browser and type in the address that you see on the screen. Visuan Hawkockham, and you'll go to Trademap. Enter. For those who aren't familiar with Trademap, it's an information portal from the ITC, which stands for International Trade Map Center. It provides data on imports, exports, and international trade. What's even more special is that for developing countries like Vietnam, you can access this data completely free of charge. The instructions for registering a Trademap account were shared by Vi in a previous video. If you don't know how to register yet, Vi will leave the video link for you. It'll be in the description, so you can click on it and watch whenever you need. Then, just click on Trademap. Once this interface appears, the first thing you need to do is identify the HS code of the product you want to research or survey. For today's brief tutorial, I'll use the sample code 081190 as an example. Every product has a corresponding HS code when it's exported. Those of you who have worked in export for many years are already familiar with this. Code 081190 covers fruit products. Next, in the country section, Vi will select Vietnam. Vi were interested in data about Vietnam's exports to other countries, right? Well, select the trade indicator and then choose export yes, export everyone, then once again trade indicator just as before. When you click, you see this, because I want to analyze all of Vietnam's export data for this product code 081190, which is frozen fruit, frozen tropical fruit exported to all countries. So in the partner section, it'll set it to all. In case you want to analyze a specific country, you can simply select that country from this drop-down list. For example, if it's the US, Europe, or Asia like Singapore, you just pick it directly. But right now, since we want to study all countries importing frozen fruit from Vietnam, we'll leave it as all. Alright, so when you just click on it and you'll see an interface like this. Here, this is the data. Right here, you can see the title of the table below. List of importing markets for the product exported by Vietnam in 2022. This data covers the entire year of 2002, everyone. If we take a quick look at the data here, we can see that importer refers to these importers are that import Vietnam's agricultural products. This is a list of countries ranked by value, meaning the export value from highest to lowest. Here we can see that Thailand is at the top. Next is the United States, then South Korea, Australia, and Japan. Let's briefly go over the columns. First, let's review the main columns. The export value here is calculated in thousands of US dollars. And here we have the market share of Vietnam's exports to each country. Vi, for example, here we see that Thailand imported, or rather, Vietnam exported to Thailand up to 49.9% of the total frozen fruit export volume in 2022. Next, this column shows the volume. Contract here refers to the volume. 43,267. What unit is being used here? It's measured in tons, which means metric tons. Next, this is the unit value. The unit value is calculated by dividing the total value by the volume, so it's basically like the unit price. We don't really need to pay attention to these numbers. We should focus more on this column. This column is the average tariff estimated to be faced by Vietnam. That means the average tax rate. The average tax rate when Vietnamese goods are exported to these countries refers to the import tax rate, and you can see what percentage it is right here. You can see it here. Thailand 0%, East Asia. The US is 6% average. This averages rates. Then South Korea is 22.5%, Australia 0%, and Japan 4%. From this table, we can also see the import tax rate for this product with this HS code in different countries is how many percent. Here, you can very easily download this data, everyone. Just simply click on Download here, then select the Excel file option, and you'll get the data in an Excel file. For example, let me show you how to save it outside on the... You'll download it to my desktop. Alright, let's go ahead and download it. Go back, right here. Open up. As you can see, once you download it, you can view it just like the online data. However, when you download it, you can save it on your device for long-term viewing. So, by looking here, you can immediately see the top 5 countries. Import the most Vi fruits. From there, we can focus our efforts on targeting these markets. We can concentrate on offering our products to customers in these markets. You can scroll down here to take a look. This section shows Vietnam's market share. If you check, you'll see there are a total of 205 countries in all. Import Vietnamese fruits, and among them, the top 5 companies already account for 83.5%. This aligns with the 80-20 rule we learned about before. So, the distribution is not even countries that are top importers of fruits will take up the majority of the market share. For example, here, the top 5. The top 5 countries importing Vi fruits already account for over 80% of Vietnam's total fruit exports. So, if we just focus on targeting these countries, the value of our goods and the potential order volume from customers will be much greater compared to spreading ourselves thin and targeting markets with low demand or Vi. Even if they have demand, their order volume is too small. So if we spend a lot of time on those countries, we won't succeed. Here is the data from 2. Besides using this, we can also adjust this column. What is it? Trade indicators here. We can select by yearly time, series, and it will convert the data into yearly format for us. So, in this section, we can view data not just from 2018, but all the way up to 2022. That means this data set provides us with 5 years, so you can see how the development of different countries has changed over time. You can also see how demand has changed. For example, here we can see that in 2002, Thailand was the leading country. However, back in 2018, the United States was actually the country that imported the most fruit, right? And in 2019, it was the opposite. South Korea became the largest importer of fruit from Vietnam. So, these 3 countries have taken turns holding the top spot. Based on this data, we can also get an overall picture of the market. If you want more up-to-date data, you can select Quarterly Time Series here, and it will take you to the data for the current year. And it's organized by quarter. For example, here we have, in this data set, it even includes up to Q2 of 2023. If annual data is too outdated, we can switch to analyzing by quarter. Quarter 1, Quarter 2 of 2023. So, by looking here, we'll have the most up-to-date data. In 2 quarters, South Korea rose to take the number 2 spot. But overall, South Korea still holds the 6th try so too. In quarter 1, South Korea only imported about here, the value is $4 million, but by quarter 2, that number doubled, meaning the demand in quarter 2 from South Korea surged dramatically compared to other markets. And if you are exporting or doing business in this export sector, you should focus your efforts on these 5 main markets, or even just focus on these 3 key markets. Thailand. If we can win customers from Korea and the US, we will have enough to live on, and even live quite comfortably. Okay, right? Here, they even provide monthly data, so if you want to go deeper, you can track it month by month. Here, the data goes up to August. But in my opinion, I think it's better to use quarterly or yearly data, because it's more valuable. Monthly data isn't really complete, there are a lot of gaps. For Thailand, you can't even see the data. So it's best to use yearly data. Or you can use quarterly data like this. That will be more useful when it comes to the overall picture. Alright, so that's the end of my sharing for today. If you found this video helpful, you can hit like and subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates and new videos every week. In addition, since this data is free and there's no cost, well, just stop at looking at which countries import our products the most and what the tariffs are in those countries. Well, just pause here for now. But if you want to do a deeper analysis of your competitors meaning those in the market who are in the same segment as us, or if you want to analyze customers more deeply, at that point, you'll need to invest some money so you can invest and research those deeper aspects. As for the part about researching competitors and customers, I might cover that in another video. I hope this sharing will be helpful for you all. Bye bye, and see you in next week's video.